Hey there, welcome back to the Platinum Pursuit. This is Hunted, and today we are diving into the fantastic old-school shooter platformer Akimbot. This guide is meant to take you from 0 trophies all the way to the platinum in as little time as possible. If you enjoy this content and you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. Alright, first things first, before you load into the game, there are a few things to keep in mind. First off, each level contains 3 lost data collectibles. Most are pretty simple to find, but some can be decently hidden. We'll be sure to cover each of these as they come up. Finding your first will award you with a bronze trophy, grabbing all 3 in one level will net you a silver, and finding all 33 across the game earns a gold. Next, there are these breakable boxes that are scattered about the game that have a glowing outline around them. These breakable crates give you currency, which you can then use to buy things in the store. Breaking 75% of these crates is required for a silver trophy, so make sure you're keeping an eye out. They can be meleeed or shot with any weapon, and you'll earn the same amount of currency no matter what you do. Now, at the shop, you'll be able to spend these bot coins to buy and upgrade special weapons. Make sure that you fully upgrade one of the weapons by the end of the game in order to pop another silver trophy. In all likelihood, you will not have enough currency to buy every single upgrade in the store, so make sure to use it wisely and max out your favorite weapon. Alright, with all of that in mind, we can jump into the first level, Data Bay. Alright, here we are in Data Bay. First things first, what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to be an awful person and kill indiscriminately a handful of citizens. I think we need to kill 10 of them. All you got to do is just run around and melee them.
Fishing. Alright, I'll be quiet. Just calm down, jeez.
Shouldn't take you too long to get this one.
That's not right.
I don't think we... Oh, there is one. Nope. That is a dead one. Yeah, so you should be able to get them all in this first area. If you don't, or if you forget, or whatever, yeah, you can get them a little bit later on. There's a ton of inhabitants in this level. Alright, it's time for our first lost data. So you're going to want to make it until you get to this section. It's a small little crevice with one of these shocker things. They don't hurt you that bad, but... do try to avoid them. You can go left or right. If you go right, you will find the first lost data.
Here, for example, this marketplace
right over
sells
here
cooling
in
fluid,
this corner.
metal scrap, and all kinds of useful stuff.
So make sure you grab this before you continue on. Alright, not too long after that, you're going to come across one of these dance floors. There's 2 in this level. Actually, there may be 3. But this is for the achievement Murder on the Dance Floor. Essentially all you need to do is you need to go up to the DJ, take him out, and then take his place. So, if you didn't notice it, on the right side of the screen, let me see if I can't get it to pop again. I don't think it's going to. On the right side of the screen, it tells you how to dance, and it's very not obvious. A lot of people have a lot of trouble with this. Just hit your touchpad, like actually push into the touchpad, and you'll start dancing like that. So what we need to do is come up here after we've killed him, and there you go. Alright, let's go ahead and get the next lost data. So once you make it to this, and by the way, if you didn't get the achievement for the last one at the last party, you can do it here as well. You can just need to do it at any one of them. So from here, we have a little bit of walking to do, but I figure it's easiest to see from the party there how to get here. Again, just avoiding the shocking things, breaking crates along the way for your currency. And then over here, before you go to the left, that's how to go to the rest of the level. Before then, go to the right, and there's a little pathway. At the end of the pathway, you will have your second lost data. Let's go ahead and grab that real quick. By the way, getting used to the movement in this game is not difficult, but the movement helps you a ton later on. So jumping around, getting used to using your dashing and attacking to traverse is definitely helpful. Alright, here we are to get the last lost data. We just spawned this bridge by hacking it, destroyed the 2 turrets that spawned, and now we can cross the bridge. We got the assault rifle not too long ago, but this is pretty close towards the end of the level.
You're on red alert. Oh, I got a
Just
bad
need to do a
feeling
little bit
about this.
of combat before we can
isn't gonna help.
get that. Shouldn't be too many enemies in this section. All right, there's. Can we kill this guy? All right. There we go. Okay, so the final lost data is right here through this door. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and hack this. Pretty simple. You can see, obviously, it opens that up. And then to get back there, we just take this little path behind. And we will have our third and final lost data of the first level. All right, we've come across the store for the first time. We get a free weapon here. I don't really have any recommendations. I used mainly the nano turbines. It gives you pretty good firepower, some damage over time, and a shield later on. But I've also seen people use pretty much every weapon. So buy whatever looks comfortable to you. I'm going to go with the nano turbine again because it's fun. And there you go. Get your achievement. All right, here we are with the first boss of the game, the final achievement for this level, final trophy.
Shut up! I'm trying to focus.
This fight's pretty straightforward. Just keep gunning the helicopter until his guys spawn. Make sure you avoid taking as much damage as you can. There are little health bots around, but the enemies are easy enough to dodge. Alright, let's let the gun cool down real quick.
Nobody can outgun the Robbery Odyssey.
I find it just a little bit easier to aim. You get a little bit stronger aim assist when you're aiming down the sights.
That shield! Do your thing, Ixie!
We'll go ahead and hack this. We actually got a pretty tough snake one, but not too bad.
I'm gonna drink oil out of your faceplate tonight.
And you can use your special weapon as well, so don't forget to do that. Just blast him a few times. And now his minions will spawn. If you haven't picked up on it already, you get ammunition for your special weapon by destroying bots, so you can almost sort of farm ammo by killing bots with your special weapon. It's not 1-to-1. I think you have to kill 2. Yeah, 2 for one shot, at least for this weapon. Might be different for the others, I don't quite remember.
Take this!
Alright, he's just about done, and there you go. Pretty easy boss fight, but a great introduction to this game. And that's going to do it for level 1 for Data Bay. Let's move on to the next one. So here we are on Data Burn's world number 2. We're getting ready to get the first lost data for this world. We just fought our first shark bots and crossed this pathway here. We hacked the pathway to get across. And now we just hacked this machine as well to spawn this path. So if you are at this point, make sure before you continue forward, I believe this is the second time you come across these jumping pads. And it's right before the interaction with the antagonist right here. Make sure you go to the right. There's a small little pathway off to the right over here. You just need to shoot these down. Well, really, you don't even need to shoot both of them down if you don't want to. And then all we got to do is make our way over to this, and we will grab the first of the level. Next up, we've got Lost Data number 2. This one's a little tricky, so I'm going to kind of walk you into it a little bit farther. We are just coming off the boat, this time just hearing the big monologue from Evilware. And now all we really have to do is make our way forward a bit. There are a few enemies to fight, if I remember right, at this section, but it shouldn't be too terrible. We'll go ahead and take care of them real fast. Oh, that's not an enemy. And Thought there was health around here somewhere. Alas, oh, there he is. That's the auto aim, or the aim assist in this game, is a little strong on the controller. It can be quite hard to differentiate between targets. Well, so before you continue, he's gonna start screaming again. Make sure you check over to the right here. It's a little tucked away in this corner.
And I'll make your destruction quick.
But once you find the pathway, obviously pretty easy to get here. You will have to fight some enemies. I don't remember this fight being too terribly difficult. Just make sure that you are dodging, jumping, dodging. Use the aim assist to full effect. If they teleport into you, you can bash them if you want. Doesn't take too many hits to kill them. And that's it. There you go. We'll go ahead and grab the second data, lost data, and we'll move on to the next bit. Okay, time for this level's unique trophy. The title of this one is You Shall Not Pass. And all that's going to require is, actually we can't miss it. I mean, you can miss it if you don't do it, but you have to do this part of the mission in order to progress. So while you're here, you want to make sure that you do not miss any of these ships. It's pretty easy. The ships die very, very quickly, as you can see. Just make sure you pay attention, sweep left and right. They get highlighted for you. You have more time than you think to shoot them. Some of them seem like they're moving pretty fast, but ultimately, as long as you're quick and you are just staying on top of things, this should be a trophy you would most likely get even without thinking about it.
Where did they get all these ships?
Not too much longer now, I think. Only a few more waves.
Yeah, this is the worst prison break ever.
There's a decent couple that come towards the end here. You just, again, let the aim assist work in your favor. Pretty much always keep firing. Don't stop shooting for any reason, really. That one. All right.
On your right. No, on your left. I mean, both.
And this is longer than I remembered. Okay, there we go. You Shall Not Pass is ours, and if you had a keen eye, you will see the next area that we will be venturing to. So let's go do that.
All in a day's work for a legend like me.
I just hope this was.
All right, if you look off into the distance, you can see a little weird-looking island with some numbers. That is our next destination, and where we will find the last lost data. We'll go ahead and head over there. Get used to the sniper rifle while you can, if you are on your first playthrough. The sniper rifle is one of those weapons that is extremely effective against a lot of enemies in this game, so it's worth getting used to as early as you possibly can. Now, we have to run a decent way. It's farther than you would think it would be, but once we hit this island up here, we're going to turn right.
That's not at all how military operations.
And there's this hacking thing right here. Let's grab these. We have to fight the enemy. Whoops, that's not the guy I wanted to shoot. So again, the sniper rifle, it's one-hit KOs on a lot of flying guys, so it's going to be pretty useful. As you can see, that was pretty easy, right? Pretty easy to clean that up.
Let me at that squid-faced creep. He would
What we're
stand a
gonna do
chance
is
against
hack
this claw.
Put my money on the squid-faced creep.
Jerk.
And over here. Now, this is going to be the first instance of a pretty unique mechanic. So instead of our regular hacking games, we are going to have to enter a password. I'll show you here, and I'm sure the keen-eyed among you already can tell how we're going to solve that. But as you can see, we need to put in a password. So in order to find the password, we're just going to use the numbers here. It's obviously 5 for the first number, 1 is going to be the third, and 7. So it'll be 571 should be the passcode. 571, go. And there you have it, the third and final collectible for this level, and that is it for Data Burns. We will be back for Materia next. Okay, here we are, world number 3 on Materia. We just got off the ship, just got the cool rocket launcher that we can use to blow up these mines, and we are going to grab the first of 3 lost data. Grab these real quick. Yeah, so you have this flaming platform. You can jump over to here, but if you look behind here, there's actually a little area you can get to. So we're just going to jump around, up and over, and we find lost data number 1. Okay, here we are. Time for the special trophy for this level for Materia. It is entitled Street Fighter, and as soon as we walk up here, we will be in a battle with a Builderbot. I'm going to skip the cutscene so we don't have to watch it.
Look,
But
that must...
what you need to do is you need to defeat him without taking any damage. He has a very predictable attack pattern,
This is quite
which
satisfying.
I will show you as soon
Make
as
a wager. $10
he finishes. So when he reaches you, he'll pause and attack once. Now he'll pause and attack twice. 1, 2. Once he reaches you again, he'll do this tornado. You jump over it. Once he touches both walls, he will come back into that form. So it's a pretty easy cycle to do this without taking any hits. Just make sure you play it relatively safe. You can get a good number of hits right here without taking any damage. Just back off, let him do that, hit him again, let him turn into the tornado. And then come back again, and 1, 2, 3. Don't forget the second attack. That's what did me in. The first time I did this was that attack. 1, 2, hit him once. Oh, all right. There you go. Pretty easy.
Yeah! Shipset 1, Baby Bot 0. Woo!
There's more of them, Shipset.
Okay, for lost data number 2, we are in the Praetor lab right now. As you can see, this is the room that has the puzzle that you have to solve. You have to find the 3 puzzle combination. It's actually just before this room, but it's easiest to come from here. So we'll go back just a little bit and then turn to the right. Now down here, it's a little bit hidden, but if you see, you can find this little platform over here with some mines to take out with the rocket launcher. Mines shouldn't give you too many problems. A couple of blasts with the rocket, and you should be good to go. And there you have it, the second lost data. All right, now time for the final lost data. We are at the part where we just fought. Yeah, if you've seen this room, you know what part this is. We just fought a couple of big enemies, and now we are coming up to our first little section where we have these drills. This is pretty important. So this is the big drill section, and there's all kinds of enemies and things around here. So before you head this way, before you go to the right for these drills, make sure you swing around here. A couple of enemies will spawn in this way. Sniper rifle makes this pretty simple. Take them out, avoid the drills, and come back into this back room here, and you will find the third and final lost data for this level. That is going to be it for this one. We'll head on over to the next level. Here we are on the level Lost. This one starts off pretty quick with the first lost data. We just made it through the room with the 3 different balls that you have to put into the little slots, and then the room with the cave paintings. Now we're on the other side. It's the first room where you get this big open pit right here. You get a little bit of a cutscene and have to fight some bugs. You can just take them out with the sniper rifle. Shouldn't be too terribly hard. So... Of him for good measure. All right.
My environmental scanners are picking up
Before
super
you take
high
the
humidity
grappling hook
levels
over
in
there,
here.
head to the left.
No wonder we can't contact the ambassador.
And you will find the first lost data up and to the right. And there you have it. Lost data number 1. All right, it's time for the second lost data of Lost. And this one comes out quite a while after the first one. We just been through the area that, yeah, the arrows kind of make it up. You climb up all the way up to get up to where we're at. So from here, it can be a little tricky, but you want to grab onto the first 2 grappling hooks, but before you go to the third, which is right there, you want to drop down and follow these platforms.
Calm down, Shipset. It's just bugs.
Oh, golly, that's okay then. I just love bugs.
Then from here, we'll go ahead and hack this. Oops. There we go. And then we get these final couple of platforms, and there is our second lost data of the level. All right, time for the third and final lost data of Lost. We just finished the combat in this room, a good number of Praetors, and then we hacked this console right here and opened this door. Now, before you use the grappling hooks down that way, look down to your right. This one's pretty easy to snag right down here in the bottom right. We're not done with this level. There's still a couple of things we need to do, but that is the final lost data. Okay, it's time to get the 2 remaining trophies for this level. They're both the unique ones, Subway Shipset and Jurassic Spark. They're going to kind of be back-to-back, and it starts really quick right here. We're going to start sort of like an infinite runner type deal with Shipset. Just want to make sure that you don't run into anything. If you do, you can always restart the checkpoint. It'll bring you back to the beginning, and it'll still count. But pretty easy. Just make sure when you go around the corners that you sort of recenter Shipset back in the middle lane, just to allow you to have a little bit easier of a time reacting to the various obstacles. It's not too terribly long, this part.
Look at me go! I'm faster than a speeding laser!
So recenter him here. And there we have it. That'll do that. Now we'll go directly into Jurassic Spark.
Legs and hulking body.
Okay.
See this baby
So with Jurassic Spark,
I can barely
we have to
see
take
past
down
his
all
head.
of the Praetors while on the back of the T-Rex. It is pretty straightforward.
The lasers are weakening the tunnel structure.
You have these
It's
lasers to
gonna
use. You can
concave it.
also run over the Praetors with the T-Rex, but I find it just easier just to spray them down with the laser. You don't have to worry about it overheating, so just anytime you see one pop up, take them out, and this should be a pretty easy trophy for you to get. Again, the same thing. If you miss a guy for whatever reason, you can always restart the checkpoint,
The sky is falling!
and you'll be back to the beginning to do it again. So this part is a little bit lengthy.
Hold on, Shipset.
No! You
Make sure again that you just keeping an eye on the edges of your screen to sweep for any guys that you may have missed in the initial pass.
We're gonna blow the roof off these ruins, Exy! Can't this thing go any faster?
And yeah, I've never had a problem with taking too much damage as long as you're, shooting them relatively on time. They'll only get about 1 bullet off per guy, and that it adds up over time. But you're never really gonna fall below 50 HP. At least you shouldn't. At least I don't think you should.
Watch out! They're everywhere!
It can be a little difficult to track them. But as long as you just keep looking for the blue boxes that appear when one of them gets locked, then it shouldn't give you too much trouble. We're coming up to the exit now, and this should be it for Lost. All of the data, Lost data, and the 2 unique trophies. There it is.
We're gonna make it! We're gonna make it!
All right, and now for the boss. It is the Mechazilla. We're gonna mainly use the sniper rifle, being sure to dodge his attacks as much as possible here. The sniper rifle is going to be your best friend, just because the weak points are so much easier to hit with it. Be sure to keep moving. Anytime he's firing, movement is essentially going to dodge whatever's incoming. Unfortunately, the health bots are a little annoying in this part, just because they will take fire, or rather they'll take your fire, they'll take your lock on. Again, as you can see, it all comes down to movement. Just keep firing on his weak points, and eventually should be able to get him down. Oh, hello. I thought we got him there, but 6%. There's that, and there he goes. Down he goes. For the moment.
We took it down once. We can take it down again.
All right, phase 2 is not much different. He's just gonna his pattern is gonna be a little bit faster, so you're not gonna have as much time to shoot. But you can still pick off a good number of them if you're quick. Okay. Ouch. Yeah, there's plenty of health on this level if you do need it. And there he is. So that will do it. That is the Mechazilla.
Oh yeah, and this time stay down.
All right, it's time for the processor. Let's go ahead and find the first lost data. Make sure you grab the quest from him first before you do this, so you can get both a quest item and the lost data all in one go. So from him, turn back and to the right below this bot here, and there is the tire that's right here. We'll go ahead and grab that.
Why'd the Praetors leave a wheel all the way up here?
Keep going, and you will find a nice little pathway back this way, where you will grab the first lost data of the level. So there you have it. Lost data number 1. Enjoy the rest of the level. Okay, let's go ahead and get the next unique achievement called Pneumatic Press here on this level. Now, the text of the trophy is a little misleading. It says to just crush a Praetor with the buggy. And if you see, just running over them doesn't quite do the trick. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to essentially Mario stomp them like that. Jump on one. You only have to do it once, fortunately. You don't have to do it a bunch of times, but yeah, I can try to show you again. It's not going to pop the trophy, but it's pretty easy. You don't take a ton of damage to these guys, and as long as you stay out of combat, or you don't take damage, rather, for a while, in the buggy, you can see it's going to start to increase your health, so yeah, it'll take a couple of tries. Just make sure you jump on them, kind of land like you would think of Mario killing a Goomba, and you should be able to get it. All right, we're going to make a quick stop at this shop real quick. If you don't know where the shop is on this level, by the way, right here is the processor's house. It's kind of on the other side of the cliff. It's a little difficult to find, but just jump down the cliff and you should be able to find it. And the reason why we're going to do that is because I finally have enough currency to buy this, and I will show you the trophy popping for that. There you have it. So just like I said, make sure you buy at least one of these, and then you can experiment with other weapons. We're only about halfway through the game, so you definitely can buy more, but I just chose to go down this line because it's easiest and I like the gun the most, so there you go. Okay, time for Lost Data number 2. This is immediately after the processor gets picked up by the Praetor dactyls, and we're on our way to rescue him. We're going through this sort of, there's like a bird's nest up there. It's just a little crevice, and then from here the path is going to split just a little bit. What we need to do is we need to avoid obviously the spikes, and if you haven't crushed a Praetor yet with the buggy, you still have time to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to just continue on, try to go to the right up here. And go straight into this bit instead of going left towards the mission. Go straight here. We can get out. And there's more of these rhinoceros type animals. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but you need to put them into their little areas. We're actually kind of lucky. Oh no, this one's already in place. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah. So we have to put them on their pads. There's one more over there to activate this door. So I think I'm probably just gonna speed up the video of me doing that real quick, and then we will get the Lost Data number 2. Okay, and now from this point, they will automatically walk to their platforms. You don't have to continue to hit them. So as soon as he stands on that, this will get lit up, and we will have our data number 2. It's time to get the third and final lost data for this level. We just made it through. I like to call them the Horizon bots. They look like the Horizon Zero Dawn bots, but we just made it to this island, collected the 20 chips for the processor, and now we're getting ready to move on going this way. Before we head this way, though, turn to the left and just kind of continue down this pathway. There were some chips down here if you came this way to collect them, but you can see it right up there is that final lost data that we need. So we're gonna rotate around here. It's obviously pretty simple to get up here, but once we grab that, that will be the third and final one that we need. A couple of Praetor dactyls to deal with. Nothing too bad. And there we go. Here we are on Praetor Island. This one has a unique trophy to die in the lava, which
looks like we're on our own.
With everything, all the lava surrounding the area, really not too hard to do. So we'll just go ahead and do that
We get to go
now, and we'll get the floor is lava. There you go. Now for the lost data number 1 of this level, we just had our first encounter with one of the big towers right here and a couple of Praetors on the ground. That is the area that we are supposed to go next, is over this way. Before we head that way, though, we do want to step into this room. And if you didn't know, these things can actually explode, so you don't have to deal with them, which is nice.
Great.
All we have to do, drop down in here and grab this, and we're good. The next unique trophy we need to get for this level is called Akimbot, and it involves destroying these mines before they kill you. You have to kill 20 of them without dying, essentially. This is the first area where we really run into them.
Oh, good.
So we'll just go ahead and pop as many as we see, and it shouldn't take too long.
Those mines are no joke. Try to trigger them from a safe distance.
Alright, so we got a couple of those for right now, and I'll probably cut the video to show some stuff later. And there we go. We got all 20 without dying. If for some reason you don't get it in this first area, there is a big room with a ton of mines in it later on that I'm sure it has more than 20, so don't reset if you die in between. It's all good. Just keep working on it, and once you get to the end of the level, you'll have an opportunity to do it again. So while we're in the middle of doing the mines, let's go ahead and get the lost data number 2. This is the pathway that we had to go take to go hack the machine. And that opened obviously this door here to continue forward. Before we do that, we are going to head to the left, and there's just a few little pathways to jump to. It's pretty simple. You can see it from here. Take it nice and easy, and we'll get there in no time for lost data number 2. Okay, time for the final lost data of the Praetor Island. We just skipped through a whole bunch of fire. This is a pretty chaotic section. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. And hey, look, there is the final lost data. Let's go get that. Yeah, you can use this pillar. There is going to be a little bit of a fight that we have to do first, but it shouldn't be too bad. Actually, we'll pull out the minigun for this. Why not? The minigun's actually quite a good weapon if you can be relatively close. If you're too far away,
How do they even get people in those cages?
then it's not going to do too much damage. But after that, we'll come over to this pathway. And as you can see, there is a little area that you can walk back behind here. And we'll dash our way over up here. And it's a pretty easy jump to grab the third and final one. Okay, let's go ahead and kick things off on this level with the very first of the unique trophies. This one's going to take a little while, so I'll try to walk us through it here. But we need to get through this area without being spotted by anything. It's not too terribly long.
Imperial Praetors!
Stay low.
And you have pretty good windows for different stuff. You just need to make sure that you stay in the shadows. The shadows won't protect you from every sight line.
Shut it, Shipset. Don't let it see you.
Like if a bot comes around the corner or something, it will still see you, but you can sneak in the shadows there. We'll jump up here and hack this, and we should be good to go through this room. Really, the first few rooms are pretty easy. Like, say you're not gonna get seen by him up here. And jump down and push on through. It's the next couple of rooms that can be a little bit difficult. Now, additionally, you can be like sort of spotted, but not really spotted. Like you can be seen, but they won't they have to investigate. And if you get to cover fast enough, you won't actually be spotted. Oh, I got stuck there, but we should be fine. So just be careful here. It can be a little dicey if you're not. This guy to move.
Holy internet! How is anyone supposed to avoid all these scanners?
They're not supposed to. That's the point.
All right. Now, push up to this. This room is pretty big, pretty straightforward. You just got to be patient. Make sure that you don't get spotted by the big boy. He's gonna push over there, so we'll go around the right side and keep moving all the way down here. If you're fast, you know this is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I don't think you can get spotted back here, so we're just gonna move along. All right. Now is where things can get a little bit dicey. Oh, and that's why you can be sort of random. Sometimes, at least what I've noticed, but that's actually a good, pretty good example. He saw me, but he didn't see me. I got out of the way in time. So, decent example of how you can be seen All we gotta do is finish this hack. Back to cover. We'll push on.
The door's open. Let's get out of here.
And there you go. Simple as that. Pretty straightforward once you know the path to get through there. Just work on your timing, and if you do get caught or whatever, you can always reset the checkpoint like normal. Okay, so immediately after that, we have our first of the lost data. Now, this room will spawn a bunch of guys in a little while once we unlock this lock, but before we do that, let's head over to the left side, and we can get the first lost data back in here. There are no guards to spot you, so you don't really have to worry about sneaking. You can just come all the way around. You want to do the big full circle around the outside. There's really nothing along the inside. I've explored that whole area. There's really nothing there. You drop down, sneak through here, and there is your first of 3. All right, time for lost data number 2. We just blew up the crystal, and now we are escaping the ship. But before we do that, we're just going to jump across to this section, turn to the left. Got some stuff to smash. We can find the lost data over here. Gonna have to do a little bit of platforming to get there, and there is no timing on this ship destruction. You can spend as much time here as you want. You're not gonna game over or die or have to do anything different. So take your time, explore all you want, and there is lost data number 2. All right, so here we are for the second of 2 of the unique trophies for this level. We need to make it through this laser field without taking any damage from the lasers. Pretty straightforward. Now, the complication is there are usually a bunch of crates out here to shoot or to hit with your melee ability. What I've done is I've decided to just run through these lasers and break all the crates. You know, taking damage and the whole way, but I've broken the crates and now they've stayed broken. There's one actually that I missed, but that now that I've respawned, all of the crates remain broken. I still have all of the currency, so I can just focus on getting through the lasers. You know, make sure you use your dodge, take it slow. You're not timed at this part. There's no reason to go too fast. Back up if you need to. And be careful at the end to not get hit by that last one, but once you make it through, that will do it. All right, and from here, we'll go ahead and pick up the final of the 3 data caches, or sorry, the lost data. Right through here. And this level is pretty quick, but it has a lot of things packed all right next to each other, so a lot of things to collect, but a pretty quick level overall. We'll go ahead, just loop around the outside. Again, you're not timed. There is no time limit. You can take as long as you need to. Grab this, and then we'll hack our way out, and that'll be the level. Welcome to Planet Firee. It has a unique mechanic where you have to stay close to the fire to avoid freezing. We just reached the first section with some enemies, a couple of bugs flying through the air. We killed those, and now we have to hack these terminals. But before we do that, let's go grab the first lost data of the level. It's in this back corner by this fire here. Keep going. And right around the corner, you will find a little tunnel. You just need to run along through, and here is your first lost data. Okay, time for the unique achievement for this world. We just came up here from the shop, had to hack these platforms, and now we are up top here. These are the caves. And what we need to do is we need to destroy each of these bombs in the caves without dying. So this is pretty straightforward. There's a decent number of them. Obviously, you need to use your rocket to break the shields. But really, I think the main danger to worry about is the freezing and enemies that
didn't stick to me this hard.
that end up spawning a little bit later on. I believe there's enemies. If not, you still need to be careful with the the cold. If you're out of range of the fire for too long, you will definitely lose a lot of health very quickly. So make sure that you hurry through areas, but you don't want to miss any bombs either, so you pick them off from a distance. Go. Okay, beautiful. We'll even grab him before we move.
Echo! Shipset is a legend!
So the nice part about these flame platforms is they count as fire.
Do you want to attract more bugs?
How else am I supposed to cope with the cold?
So you can
I
use
know
those to
exactly
keep
how
yourself
to
warm.
jack it.
And there you go. It's pretty straightforward. You just need to make sure that you don't die to the freezing or the water there. Okay, we're on approach to the portal. It's time to get the second lost data. We just need to continue fighting the enemies, stay under these. Ow, don't touch them. Stay under them for your heat so you're not freezing. And we're going to keep battling our way forward. It's right here to the right. So not too far in. Let's take out whoever's shooting at us real quick, just so we don't have to deal with it later. Actually, more enemies here than I remember there being. But they're not too hard to take out. Alright, so we head over here to the right side. We work our way around, up this way. And, oh yeah, back here. You gotta turn around, come back here. You can jump up to this. Thankfully, there's fire all along the way. Jump on over. And now you have your second of 3 lost data. All right, now not too long after that last lost data, we really just had to jump through this section. This section can be quite difficult, so if you died a couple times, don't feel too bad about that. Here we are pretty much at the portal now, and if you look, you can actually see where we're headed. Right up here is where we're trying to go. So we're gonna make our way across again, just trying to keep to the fires. We will make a beeline over to this left side, jump up this way, and this will be your third of 3 of the lost data, and then it's onwards to the boss.
Take it down, Eddie!
All right, here we are with the boss, the commander of the Praetors. Again, movement is going to be your friend. Fortunately, we don't need to worry about staying warm anymore. We can. All right, so I just kind of wanted to show what movement can do for you before really fighting the boss. So again, just making sure that you move between platforms and you pay attention to the platform spawns. Now, what he is going to do here is spawn these guys. Definitely make sure you use the minigun for this. It is by far the best weapon to deal with them. If they get in tight with you, do not jump. Do not try to run away, or you're going to make it 100 times worse. Just turn and shoot the one that's hitting you. That's the closest one to you. Like that one. All right, now you have to get ready for this.
That's not how gravity
Oh,
works.
I didn't realize that guy was hitting me. Okay. So, yeah. It can, if you get unlucky, it can be a lot of things all at once that's hitting you. Like you gotta have 2 or 3 of those guys on you while he's pushing you back. And you're trying not to fall on the ice. So keeping on top of killing those guys in that section is definitely important. I like using the rocket against him.
Stay behind me, Shipset.
But you can, I mean, really, you can use any weapon. You just have to get used to jumping and, you know, timing your jumps. Which I am doing very poorly right now. But it doesn't hurt you too bad, thankfully, and there are some health things all around the arena. There's 4 or 5 of them that you can use.
I want to get out of here!
Alright, so he's gonna go into this move. And as long as we are paying attention, shouldn't be too hard to deal with. Make sure you jump on the ledges as they come up.
You worthless wastes of scrap!
Okay. Now,
I am everything! I am everywhere!
again, just making sure that you kill the guys closest to you. That is the most important part. With this part, I think this is the part where you have the biggest risk of dying unless you're just not comfortable with the platforming. He's gonna knock you back now.
That's not how gravity works!
Don't burn all of your abilities
Eat that,
right
lackeys.
as soon as he uses that, because you can keep pushing forward and you should make it back to the platform as long as you keep a dash or a couple of jumps and a melee.
We're getting close!
This is much better timing on the jumping, thankfully.
Don't tell me you're giving up now!
No way, snake face!
And with this boss, he doesn't have too many super damaging attacks. Like, you can take a lot of damage from him, but the biggest source of where you're going to take damage, if you're not comfortable, is from the water down below. If you land in the water, you're going to take a ton of damage. So that is the biggest.
I want to get out of here!
The biggest thing to avoid is making sure you don't fall in the water. You can take hits from the lasers. You can take hits from his, his minions if you need to.
I'm coming for you!
Just stay out of the water.
I am everything! I am everywhere!
We got him down to 26. I think I'm gonna stick with this minigun and see if this does any decent damage to him. I haven't really used it against him too much. We'll hit him with a rocket to clear his shield, and then we'll try to minigun him and see how that does.
What? That's not how gravity works!
We can
Yeah,
do
that's
this!
not too bad, actually. Yeah, so maybe the minigun is your best friend here.
Lackeys.
After you take his shield out. A few more percentage points, and that will do it for the third boss of the game.
So much for making this our final resting place. This
Okay, now it's time for the extraction. I've got it paused because I just wanted to talk about this real quick before we get started. We have to do the unique trophy called Gotta Go Fast. Essentially, reach the extraction point without taking a hit. Now, you are timed during this. You have 3 minutes to get to the extraction point. We can't take any damage. There will be a bunch of enemies that spawn. This is probably the hardest trophy in the entire game. So what my strategy is, and you'll see here, I like to use the sniper rifle to take out enemies quickly. If you can't really reliably kill enemies, you might just be better off running through them and trying to dodge all their shots. Most of them are pretty dodgeable, though you will probably have to kill the hovering bots that have really quick shots that are hard to dodge. So, yeah, I'm probably not just going to focus, and I'm not going to talk too much during this part, so it'll probably take me a couple tries as well. So I'll just include my gameplay footage, no commentary, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Extraction team inbound. Rendezvous for extraction at zone FIR 12 in 3 minutes.
war zone. How long were we gone?
Why is this never easy?
Just think about the money, Shipset. It's almost in that cheap claw of yours.
Aren't we still on Firee? What happened to all the snow? All that's left is this gross, oily gunk.
War, imperialism, capitalist greed. Just pick something to blame and hurry up. We've got to get to the rendezvous point.
Mayday! Mayday! ALG-40 down! I repeat, ALG-40 down!
These guys are supposed to be rescuing us?
All right, there you go.
Phew! Just made it.
All right, time for lost data number 1 from the shop here after we killed the big boy standing up there. We are going to climb up these platforms right here. So let's jump on over to where the guy was. And all we got to do is just pretty casually climb up. And now there is going to be a little bit of combat that we have right here. Not too many guys, I don't believe. Shouldn't be anything we can't handle. And now, just a little bit of, oh yeah, right down here, is this is where you hack this, head on over to the platforms that spawn, and then eventually, there it is, you can grapple and hook all the way over, and you will have your first lost data. All right, time for lost data number 2. Right here at this downed ship, we fought a few different guys. There was one of those ball swarm things. And before we go over here and hack that to continue on, we want to jump over to this island back here. There's a little hack machine right there, if you can see that. Right here. This will allow us to get up to where that is. And now there's another wall. If you see, you should be able to see it. Yeah, there it is right there. So we'll just run around the outside, grab it real fast, and then hack our way back, and we'll continue on. All right, not much farther, and it is time for the third and final. Now, this is a big section with a lot of enemies. I'm not going to clear all of them, but I do just want to take out a few while I have the opportunity. Sniping from up here is pretty nice, but we have to go around and we have to take out these turrets. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump down. Oh, we're going to jump down. We're going to run over this way, bypassing the turrets for now, and the final lost data is up here. So we'll grab that, we'll kill the turrets, and that will be it for this level. Okay, so not quite the end of the level. I forgot about the tank section. We do need to do something special here. for this section. We need to run over 15 different enemies. It's called King of the Hill,
Read a manual.
and we have to make sure we don't die while we're doing it. You really don't take a ton of damage in the tank, but you also regen a lot of health pretty quickly if you don't take damage for a while. So every enemy you see, it's worth it early on to just run them over. That's already 5, so we'll keep on with this. The tank controls can be a little bit tough to get used to. There we go.
Take that, you stupid trees!
But a little bit of practice, and it's pretty straightforward. So
There.
there should
Let's see
be,
how good the
yeah.
algorithm makes their tanks.
We'll have to fight off a couple of tanks. These tanks are quite good at aiming and moving targets. So if you kind of bounce around back and forth and sort of try to time your shot for when it's shooting, you can dodge it pretty easily, like so. All right, let's find some more guys to crush. Ow. Need to go back this way. Take these out. All right, I'll probably just go ahead and fast forward the footage here.
You're driving like an old lady, Exy. Come on, hit the gas!
Hey, if you were driving, we'd both be dead by now.
Sure, we'd be dead, but in a freaking tank!
All right, there we go. Now we can shoot the enemies if we want to, but again, make sure that if you lose a lot of health, the tank regenerates health very quickly. So as long as you're staying out of combat, even just, you know, backing up for a minute and sitting, you'll regen health very, very quickly and get back into the fight.
This thing's frying those fish-faced trees!
All right, welcome to Nowhere, probably the most bizarre level in this game. Fortunately, though, we don't need to get any lost data here. We do, however, have to outsmart a giant cat. So, for this achievement, we need to get through this area without the cat ever seeing us. If you've ever played red light, green light, it's pretty much that. You don't want to be moving when the cat is looking in your direction. If you're a fan of the show Squid Games, I'm sure you can draw plenty of parallels to that. So there are items that are scattered around that you're going to be wanting to collect for the currency and things as usual. But really, I mean, as long as you get through there without doing too much like that, just take it slow. It's pretty easy. There's a second section ahead, so I guess if you don't want to restart the checkpoint, if you fail this one, you can always do that. But yeah, as long as you do one section without being seen, you don't have to do the whole thing, fortunately. So there you go. All right, with that out of the way, now it's time for our second of 2 of these unique achievements for this level. This one is Do a Double Barrel Roll is the name of that. We're just going to jump on this. I'll go ahead, skip the cinematic. Now this is pretty straightforward. Really all you have to do is, you want to hold the direction that you're spinning in. And you can, I mean, you can crash. I mean, you see I've already got it. But yeah, there's really nothing to it. I might even be able to complete the level. But either way, that's it for Nowhere, and I will see you in the next level. All right, and now time for the boss of Nowhere, King Chicken. Now, to start, you can't really destroy these eggs. At least I've tried. I've shot them with a number of different weapons. It never seems to work.
Your king summons you! What the bot? That doesn't make any sense.
For the most part, you can just kite these things. You want to make sure you get out of the way of that. And then you're going to want to time this. I didn't miss the timing. He has a pretty huge hitbox with that attack. So
It's raining gifts. I'm such a generous king.
try to make sure you shoot his wings, do as much damage as possible, and he'll fly away. So we did about a third. That's not too bad. Again, back to just kiting these enemies and using your ammo relatively sparingly. You don't want to heat this gun up, or you'll have to switch off, and this gun is by far the best for this fight. So here he comes, and now we're going to try to time it. There we go. Okay, we dodged it that time. That is probably going to be the attack that that hurts you the most in this fight, I would say. At least it did for me. The rest of the fight's relatively straightforward. You just have to time your jumps and dodge presents flying through the air. All right, so we've done a good deal of damage. We should be able to get him on the next cycle. But yeah, I mean, you can just hold the minigun out, as you can see. I haven't switched weapons one time, and it's been a pretty easy, pretty straightforward affair.
Face the facts, hero. Even in your own head.
All right, there we go. Is that enemy glitched?
I'm such a generous king.
That's funny. And there you have it. Pretty easy boss fight. Okay, here we are on our second return to Firee now. We are in the future after Nowhere, and we've just crossed through our first little minefield. Just use that terminal over there to hack this door, and now we can go grab the first of 3 of the lost datas. So we're going to jump over to this area. This is where we go for the rest of the level. We'll head to the right over here, though, and cross through another minefield. This one, you're going to have to be a little bit careful. You really don't want to fall down into the mines. They will just insta-kill you. So just take things nice and slow. And then you can jump up here and grab your first of 3 lost data. We've only got 5 left. Okay, time for lost data number 2. We just made it through the section where we got bombed running through the landfill and fought some of the ambassador's troops. This right here is the missile in case you need a landmark. That's the missile. We'll get to that in just a minute. But you want to come back this way into this little troop container ship. I believe there's even some good number of crates to collect. And then we will come back and just follow this back here to find our second lost data. Okay, here we are at the missile to get our first of 3 unique achievements for this level. It's very bad James bot. What we're going to do is we're going to hack this console, and you're going to cut the wrong wire. Don't do what I did and cut the right wire on accident first. I randomly guessed and got it first try on my first playthrough, and I ended up having to come back here. So let's hack this real quick. And if you cut the first wire, it should be good enough.
Touch anything. I know exactly which cable you have to
okay.
cut.
So as long as you cut the first cable, you should be able to get this. And actually, I kind of want to just do a quick test. Might as well. This will be extra content for the video. I think 9 is the correct cable. Though you can listen to Shipset. I don't think I've ever listened to his full thing.
Wait! Don't touch anything!
I think 9 is the one I cut.
I know exactly which cable you have to cut.
And yeah, okay.
I'll pull off that beard
there you go.
with bare hands.
No, not the beard!
Okay, time for Hedgehog Lover. Essentially, all you got to do is just fly through each of these rings. If you miss one, you can very easily just reset the checkpoint and try again. It gets actually kind of dicey towards the end. You have to get used to the controls relatively quickly. Fortunately, the rocket really, it doesn't, it controls rather well. You won't make too big adjustments. So pretty much what I'm doing, I'm just holding the direction I want to go in until I sort of line up, and then it's just small little corrective taps on the control stick. I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but
The was gonna explode immediately. That was pure luck.
and yeah, again, you can hold the direction to really give yourself a good boost, and then once you get sort of lined up with it, just make a couple of taps, and you should be able to. The game helps you sort of like through the rings as well. You're not completely on your own with this. You should be coming up to the end here. And once we get through this, we have one final achievement. Yep, down through all of these rings.
Let's go!
And that's it for Hedgehog Lover. Okay, here we are. It is time for the last of the 3 unique achievements. This one is You Can't See Me. We have to take down a camera before it spots you. Now, we just hacked this big door in this room with all these floors. We're going to go through here, and before you around the corner, look to the right. And if you're good enough, you can see there's a camera right up there around the corner. So what we're going to do is we're just going to peek. Fire on that, and there you go. If you move too far in this direction, then you'll be seen by the camera. But as long as you just peek around the corner, pop it, you should have the final unique achievement for this level. All right, and we're gonna pick up right where we left off for the 3rd and final of the lost data as well. We're gonna go straight through this little area, through that opening. And we just need to make our way back here. Dodging lasers. I think there's another camera. Yeah, okay, there is one more camera. We just need to take that out. And there you have it. The 3rd and final lost data for this level. All right, it's time for us to make our escape. And we need to get another trophy in the process. It is the need for cleanliness. And we need to avoid those puddles right there that I just drove around. You can shoot the enemies. They usually take
the left path.
They usually take 2 shots per guy. Make sure you use your boost, but you want to be sure you're not boosting into any of the puddles.
Oh, scrap! Oh, scrap! We're in fight now!
And you do want to take out the enemies relatively quickly, just to avoid taking too much damage.
Go to the right.
Make sure you listen to Evaware when he tells you which way to go.
There, the towers. That's where we're going.
These towers can really
Left path.
the towers can really hurt you if you're not careful. Ow, like that. So again, make sure you use liberal use of your boost. Try to go underneath the towers. And the most important thing, obviously, is to avoid the mud puddles. If you run through a mud puddle, just hit the restart checkpoint. That is one of the great things about this game, is that you don't have to, you know, you can easily restart a checkpoint to retry one of these challenges instead of, you know, having to run all the way back through a level or something like that. We're getting very close to the end of the game. This is the penultimate of the unique trophies. We've got one more we need to get, and then really it's just the final 3 lost data, the final boss, and finish breaking 75% of those crates, and the platinum is essentially ours. So gonna keep going.
That ship is getting on my nerves. Right, lackey.
Now I did notice, I don't believe if you boost over any ramp, I don't think you're going to be thrown into a mud puddle, fortunately. But I still try to take my time just to make sure I don't fall off a ledge or run into a puddle or anything like that.
There's a roadblock dead ahead!
Turn left now.
We should be getting close. We're about 50% health. That's about right for right now. We should have enough to get to make it to the finish. Yeah.
Go, go, go.
And there you have it. Need for Cleanliness. All right, well, I actually got the achievement during a fight, funny enough. So I'm on the final level here, obviously. You may have already gotten this if you've been a bit more diligent with grabbing the boxes than I have. But, yeah, that was the 75% of all of the crates smashed in the game. Okay, it's time for the first lost data of this final level. We are just going to follow these conveyor belts. This is the first time we've come across them in the level. We're going to follow them for a moment, and then we'll go ahead and grab this lost data. Make sure not to touch these. These crates will explode if you touch them, and they don't do a ton of damage, but they do hurt. Now, this is the direction that you're supposed to go. It wants me to shoot that guy really badly. But we're going to go to the left first off. And, yeah, right over here, over top of this drill, is our first lost data. All right, time for the second lost data. We are at the end of this real long alleyway here where you had to dodge the fire. And, yeah, avoid the crates. We're going to take this grappling hook. And we're going to continue down this pathway for just a moment. Grab these crates while we're here. And then there's going to be some more grappling hooks. Now, before you go all the way to the end, you want to do the first two.
Thought about adding, I don't know,
and right down underneath of it is this. If you come back from a checkpoint, I believe up there is checkpoint 4. I think it's checkpoint 4. You can take that grappling hook to this one. Just remember, it's underneath the middle of the 3. And it's pretty easy to find right here. So this is the second lost data. All right, now it is time for the final lost data of this level, the final lost data of the game, the 33rd lost data. This is the way to go. We just fought a couple of turrets, some of those security bots, and yeah, we're in the part where the cave is starting to collapse. So before you head this way, make sure you turn off to the left here. There's a little entryway, and it is a pretty straight shot right for the data. Just avoid the lasers. And there you are. Finally, we are finished with all of the lost data in the game. And here we are for the final achievement. unique achievement of the game. We need to not fail any of the hacks on this elevator section. So just some pretty basic combat. Eventually the elevators will stop. The elevator will stop. We'll have to hack it. You just want to make sure you don't fail them. Again,
restart the engine.
you can always restart. You can always reset the checkpoint should you fail one of these hacks. I mean, by now I think you should be pretty good with the hacking, so I don't think there should be too much of an issue. But if you don't know it, you could ultimately fail one on without realizing it and have to retry.
The engine! Come on!
Most of the hacking games are pretty straightforward. I think the most difficult one for me to get used to was the snake. The snake one, funny enough, just because it it feels like there's like input lag or almost a little bit of a delay before your input takes hold. I guess that's just the nature of a snake game, right? But yeah, that one took me a minute to get used to sort of
Get that engine working!
put the input in before I needed it. All right, there shouldn't be. I think there's a total of 5 hacks.
Let's send them packing.
Could be wrong about that. I guess we'll find out here in a minute.
What is up with this engine? It's down again!
Okay, here's the snake one. All right, we got a pretty good snake one. That one was easy. Sometimes the snakes can be a little challenging because they put them so far apart, but there we go. That is the final unique achievement for the game. All that remains is for us to defeat the final
Got your
boss.
machine. Where are you?
Enough is enough.
All right, here we are, the
wasting
final
my
boss
time.
fight after quite a long sequence, a lot of mini games, a lot of driving and flying. But here we are.
Ambassador may be worthless.
Time
but
to
even
fight
you can't
Evilware
take both
and
of us.
the Ambassador at the same time. So this fight, when Evilware's attacking you, you really just want to kite him, use the minigun. It is quite good against him.
There's no escape, lackey.
With the Ambassador, you have to hack him first, which we got kind of a slow one, but oh, there we go. I like to use the sniper for him,
It's coming
or
from
really
everywhere.
anything. I mean, anything that you can put some decent damage on him before he starts this phase. Just make sure you're dodging. I mean, it's pretty easy to avoid
Dance
this.
for me, lackeys. Dance.
Okay, and now now he's gonna start doing this melee attack.
never see me
If you're
coming.
not paying attention to him, he can definitely hit you a number of times. I would 100% ignore Evilware during this phase when he is teleporting into you and trying to punch you. Again, just keep using the minigun. I think it's just the most effective weapon. It gets a lot of bullets down range,
Watch out, Exy!
and you don't have
Evilware's
to
still on us!
worry about overheating really when you're dodging as much as we are. Okay, now in the shooting phase again, you can use the sniper.
I can
Evilware's
take
kind of annoying just because of his thing's hard to get a good idea of where he's at, but eventually he'll start attacking you again like this.
Before you die, lackeys.
With a rocket or two, good measure. And there he goes. He is down for the count. We'll even grab some health. Now it's just the Ambassador. There he is. Oh, hello. Give him the what for? And you should be able to take him down. Oh, we almost got him. He should be standing around here somewhere. There he is. You can attack him even when he's in this phase. Whoa. One final hit, and that'll do it. GG. Enjoy your platinum. And that'll do it. I hope you had as much fun with Akimbot as I did and you enjoyed this wonderful journey to the platinum. If you liked this video and you want to see more of these follow along type guides, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment letting us know your thoughts. Until next time, I'm Hunted with the Platinum Pursuit, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy Platinum.